right, welcome to my portion of BFA Capstone Exhibition, or should I say our work is along this wall and in the center piece right there. It's a little bit different because I do collaborative work with my 6-year-old son, Duncan. See, I only have him on the weekends and through the summer, so our time together is pretty limited. So I have to work on my pieces while I'm at home, and he emulates me drawing. He wants to do what Dad does, pretty much. So I started to use his drawings. Well, they inspired me to to be more creative and to have that outlandish imagination that a child has. Then he leaves these drawings behind when he goes back home to his mother, and they kind of become a link to him while he's away. So I use these rudimentary drawings that he produces and bring them to a heightened level of realism and make pieces about our lives together. That's pretty much it. Anything you'd like to say?
I especially like my artwork.
Just kidding. But these pieces are produced in a multitude of different ways, actually. I'll take his drawings because he has no sense of composition. So I can blow them up in Photoshop or project them onto the surface and get a pleasing composition. And then I can either add stuff in the digital programs, or I can wait until after they're printed on the large format printer. And after that, I'll start to implement things like ink, other drawing materials. Some of these are from, or some elements are from pictures, like this element right here is straight from picture. This up here, and of course his face right here. So they're all different levels of mixed media, really. There's a different type of percentage for what I did digitally and what I did on the surface. Questions?
Sure. You may have a question?
Angie?
Can you talk a little bit about the subject matter in the pieces?
The subject matter, like this one, I named it Fragmented because of the fragmented life that we do have. The times that we're away and from the times that we're together are so drastically different. If you've ever been in the presence of a 6-year-old, with them is a lot different from being without them. That's why I started to do diptychs as well, to show the separation that we have between us. Like in the first 4 sets of pieces, they're both diptychs. And the idea there was I could move them closer together to how physically close I felt to him, or I could move them further away. And time. Morgan.
You said you work together visually and conceptually. Mm-hmm. Will you kind of like elaborate or share a little bit on the conceptual side, how y'all collaborated?
Well, it's difficult because you're working with a child, but I throw in more of the conceptual things than what he does. I just use his drawings, because it's like a link to him whenever he's away. So, that's why, like, conceptually, separation and time become a big part. Like in this piece right here, I use his arms for the arms of the clock, and more of a ghostly image because, time has no physicality to it. And it seems like the time that we have together, it just disappears like a ghost, Angie again.
Can you talk about this piece?
Yeah, let me talk about this piece. It's on down here. This piece is also a diptych. I wanted to use our eyes at our height level, but this actually comes in from pictures I took of a watercolor painting, where I projected his image this way and did it in marker that'll bleed. It comes on over, and then it's the same image projected downward, but masked out on watercolor paper. So this has, it plays with, we don't see eye to eye, and, fatherhood, parenthood has its ups and its downs. Yes, Louise?
So do you find yourself giving him specific media to work with, or like having conversations with people who lead to certain subject matter, or do you guide his work at all?
Not really. I let him work really spontaneously, and I try to do that whenever he's away from me as well. That's kind of like the, conceptual thing. Huh?
You're cleaning that.
Yeah, I work a lot whenever you're not with me. Yeah, that's how I produce all these pieces. See, he has no idea, really. But he goes for bright colors, you know, primary colors, and that really reminds me of childhood, too. So, you know, color is a big part of what we do. And making the diptychs as different as possible and the same as possible as well. Way down there, Jody.
I have a question for the younger Mr. Duncan.
Well, come on, younger Mr. Duncan. What's your question?
What is your favorite art supply to work with?
Pencil.
Colored pencil, right? You like colored pencil?
Yep.
All right, we got a question here.
Do you plan to continue like working together?
You know, you can't force somebody to work with you. That's a pretty good question. Because sometimes he just doesn't. He would rather watch Adventure Time or something like that than actually work with Dad. So he really liked making movies that we started doing in the digital survey class with Angie. And I think we will continue to do that, but I need to supplement my education with learning how to use After Effects a little bit better. Anything else?
I hope it's with me.
I have a question.
Okay.
Oh, this is for your son.
Okay.
Which one's your favorite out of all of these?
Out of all of them.
I was hoping you would ask it.
Well, which one is it?
This one.
Yay!
Yeah, that one's
Is that your
mine too.
favorite?
That was mine
That
too.
seems to be a lot of people's favorite. I don't really know why. Well, I mean, because it's not mine. Like, all of these are digital prints. All of these are digital prints except for these two. This comes from projections, you know, so we had a lot. And he went on top of it. And it came to be a lot about anxiety because I let a child work right on top of my fine art piece. And the second he starts to make, you know, the march, it's, what are you doing? You know? But I came to relax a little bit out of that. But it's still pretty, makes you pretty anxious.
Okay.
I think that's it.
All right.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.